To all the gallant SMEs, I say Aiko. The contribution of small and medium-scale enterprises, SMEs, otherwise known as small and growing businesses, is economically, they contribute greatly to global economy, and their importance cannot be overemphasized. According to the World Bank research, SMEs contribute about 90% of businesses and more than 50% of employment worldwide. In spite of your hard work, dedication, and commitment to developing the nation, your sector is, however, faced with a number of challenges. Research has shown that about 20% of SMEs collapse from startup. So from the day the businesses start, within 1 year, about 20% of them collapse. And a significant amount of 50% collapse within the first 2 to 5 years of startup. And the reason of these challenges are funding support, because we don't have access to fund to be able to undertake your businesses, and we don't have technical expertise. We have so many other factors we also bear. Among them, these are the major challenges. In the wake of COVID-19, SMEs were unfortunately the hardest hit, and many SMEs are still grappling with the negative impact of COVID-19. Results from COVID-19 Business Tracker Survey conducted by the Ghana Statistical Service in collaboration with the United Nations Development Program and the World Bank revealed that about 35.7% of firms had to close just during the COVID period, and 46.1% reported reduction in wages just to be able to remain afloat. 4% reported staff layoffs during the peak of COVID-19 in Ghana. And if we assume that at least the workforce of Ghana, SMEs employ about 70% minimum, and once 4% of that number is laid off, you can just imagine the impact it will have on our country. There is therefore the need for a deliberate partnership support for SMEs, for sustainable growth, so that we can take them to the level that they need to be powering and be able to help us turn around the situation in our country. To borrow from one of the renowned leaders, Ursula von der Leyen, who is the president of European Commission, she said, SMEs are the motor of our economy and will be the engine of our recovery. She understood the importance of SMEs and what they do in national development. That is why she is saying that in order for them to be able to build back, then they will need to depend on SMEs to recover. Frederick Mugisha, who is the UNDP economic advisor for Ghana and Gambia, also asserted that if businesses, that is SMEs, if businesses, especially SMEs, are provided with the needed support to adopt best practices, particularly in the use of digital solutions, this could go a long way to increase their productivity and resilience for future challenges. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as part of our commitment to support SMEs, we embarked on a series of engagements and initiatives geared towards empowering SMEs across the country. The maiden edition of the SME Clinic was held in Accra in March last year. Subsequently, we held another one at Kumasi in August last year. Now, and these two clinics we held, together with other workshops, have been very revealing. We identified through these engagements key areas in support, such as funding, business advisory, expertise in digitalization, among others, to equip SMEs in modern business practices to make them resilient in supporting our nation's economy even better than before. Through the partnership with Graphic Communication Group, I am proud to share with you that over 6,000 SMEs have been positively impacted through our holistic intervention of providing loans to support in upscaling many SME businesses. We also provided technical support through hands-on training in digitalization for our capacity building workshop held across the regions. And I think Western region has also been one of the beneficiaries. We have supported SMEs with working capital in excess of 15 million Ghana cedis recently. And this support does not require collateral. So all the SMEs we are supporting by way of working capital, we are not taking collateral from them. And sometimes when they are in trouble, what we do for them is to term out. That is, we extend the tenure of repayment so that it will be easy for them to pay. Those who have problems too, we are able to even give them moratorium so that we'll give them briefing space to be able to turn around their businesses and pay back. We continue to empower SMEs with critical business information. To be able to succeed in every endeavor, you need the right information to be able to make decisions. That is why we continue to research together with Graphic, and we'll continue to publish those research information every 2 weeks in Graphic so that SMEs can take advantage of the information and use it to guide their businesses. We have also developed dedicated, robust SME payment and collection platforms to cater for your business needs. We have also migrated over 3,000 SMEs to digital platforms so that they will be able to reach out to a wider market and be able to grow their base in terms of customers. In recent times, the 3 C's, also known as COVID, climate change, and conflict. We know we have conflict going on in Ukraine, has impacted negatively on most economies, and this has affected SMEs significantly. So it is important that we consciously and continuously deepen our discussions around providing solutions so that our SMEs will be able to go through these challenges successfully. The theme for today's SME Clinic is unlocking the potential of SMEs through digitalization. We know there are untapped potentials in SMEs, and we are privileged today to have accomplished personalities, experts with proven track records and business acumen to show us the way. There is one school of thought which says that if you see a successful person in any field or in any business, you can approach the person and find out what he did to be able to get to that level. And if you are able to implement what the person did to get to that level, and you are also able to innovate in your own way, and after you definitely get to that level. That's why we are bringing these experts who are proven track records, and they will be able to show us the way to success. As a go-to bank for SMEs, Access Bank remains committed to supporting your business in a sustainable way so that we will grow to the level that is expected of you. I entreat you all to relax and enjoy the clinic. Be sure to take all the prescribed medication to drive your business to success. Thank you and welcome once again.
Thank you, Access Bank and Graphic Business. This is what Ghana needs. The understanding is that development, either at the individual level, household level, at the national level, is knowledge intensive. In other words, if you run a business, even your own life as a country, and we do not utilize knowledge, we do not employ knowledge in how we manage our businesses, then we cannot do well. There are ways of doing things. There are better ways of doing them. So when we meet like this, the recognition is that you are already doing well. So if not anything at all, we can clap for ourselves that for making it here this morning is enough that you are already doing something, you are already making progress, because it's not everybody who qualified to be in this room. There is a criteria for selecting, and for making it is an important first step. There is a saying, say, to finish first, you must first finish before you can finish first. So to make it here already tells me you are already doing something. So congratulations. And when I choose to congratulate you before I start, it's because you are in a better position than some of us. You are actually running businesses. I have merely studied about business. So you have practical experience. There is a science behind business and how it can be managed. So when we meet like this, it's more of iron sharpening iron. It is not a case of somebody lording it over you or not. So let's open up, let's make it more interactive. Because whether we like it or not, and as the group head for business development from Access Bank just told us that SMEs all over the world are the backbone of their economies. Ghana can't make it without you. The train isn't leaving if you are not on board. That is how important you are. What it also tells us is that if Ghana is talking about job creation, solving unemployment, the keys to that rest with you. They are in your hands. Because the SME sector, small businesses, growing businesses, They are the job creation capacity of our economy. So our investors, I feel excited to leave University of Ghana this morning and come here because if my students will be employed after going through the curriculum at University of Ghana, you are the ones who will employ them. So if I don't come here, my students will be unemployed. So I felt that the best place to be this morning is to be at Takoradi and spend this morning with you because you are the hope of this country. Whilst I have said that, we know that regardless of where you are right now, the progress that you have made, there is enough room for you to improve. And all of us have come here because we want to move our businesses from being micro, from being small to, let's say, medium to large. And some time to come, we want to see some of our SMEs becoming multinationals with branches, subsidiaries across the continent and beyond. For us to do that, it will not take the formation of another political party. No, it has to take the interaction between SMEs, banks, and I want to congratulate Access Bank for this initiative. I mean, this is what we call banking, right? Where you align your business model with the growth drivers of the economy. When the SMEs who are here, when they grow, when they become bigger, they will not forget about Access Bank. Thank you for this investment. If we look at our country, we can see that challenges are everywhere. Just as you see electricity poles hanging, just as you see that the roads are developing more potholes, and some are becoming boreholes. Just as you see that no matter how careful you are, you drive through certain roads, the potholes are arranged in such a way that no matter how careful you are, you cannot miss both. Okay. This is what it is like managing businesses. The challenges, no matter how skillful, smart you are, you can't avoid some of the challenges. You can't avoid them. Sometimes it is as though the best way to manage some of those challenges is to close your business. What would that mean for Ghana? What would that mean for you yourself? We are not here to say close your business. We are here to admit and acknowledge that there are challenges. And I know some of you are thinking through, maybe you are importing, maybe you are exporting, small business, medium, large, whatever. The depreciation, we know, is affecting all of us, right? Even if you are not importing, you are not exporting, the depreciation still affects all of us. But whilst we admit and we acknowledge these challenges, we are here this morning to also give ourselves hope that there are better ways of doing what we have been doing already. There are more efficient ways of managing them. And I was particularly excited about the team that has been chosen. And what is the team? Unlocking the potential of SMEs through digitization. That is what the world is heading towards. That is where the world is heading towards. In fact, what we call money is being digitized. So the future of money itself, for which reason we are working, and we go to work, we run businesses, the future of money itself is digitization. So some time to come, you will struggle to see paper money. You will struggle to see paper money because money is going to be digitized. In fact, Bank of Ghana is piloting digital currency, right? And the rest of them. So that is where the world is heading towards. You don't need a prophet today to tell you that your business, even if it is small, medium, or large, you should begin to understand how you can use digitization, how you can use digital apps, technological apps to manage your business. That is the way to go today. The good thing is that the fact that you were born before computers necessarily does not mean that your business should not embrace what we call digitization and how you can use it to expand your business. Okay? So there's one thing knowing something and using it yourself. There's another thing saying that I don't know about this, but I want to know more about it. Who can help me? Because the understanding is that as we speak right now, more people spend time online than they spend on the street where your business is located. Hello, are we together? A lot more people today, particularly the youth, they spend more time online than walking on the street where your business is located. So if you are looking at attracting the attention of the youth and you are looking at beautifying the location of your business on the street, few people would what? Will see it. But if you are able to leverage on digitization and have a small presence online, the visibility is high. Because a lot more people today, if they want to buy something, they are likely to go where? Online. They will not come to the street and come and ask in your shop whether you have ABC or not. Nobody has that time. Nobody has that time. Now, what it also means is that you may be operating in Takoradi, but if you employ digitization, chances are that you could be attracting customers from Accra, from Kenya, from all over the world, because they get to see, they don't need to come here, but they can see what you are doing. That is how interesting digitization is. So the idea is that digitization is not like something for a few people who have studied about computers and the rest of them. All of us can use it. All of us can what? Can use it, right? So a good number of us today have mobile phones. There's a lot we can do with our mobile phones than just receiving calls or making what? Calls. So some basic digital apps are available that we can easily leverage on. That said, I want to talk a little bit about what our own studies have found about our businesses and how we can use that to improve on our businesses, whether it's small, micro, medium, whatever. Even the multinationals are improving. The big companies are improving. They are seeking greater knowledge so they can use it to what? Improve on their businesses. One starting point, which we have found in our part of the world, is that a good number of us are running businesses, but we are unable to separate it from we ourselves. Business is life. Business is what? It's life. To go into a business is optional. It's optional. But when you start a business, managing it well, growing it, is not optional. It is not what? Optional. It's just like you can decide not to have a child. But if you decide to have a child, you don't have a choice than to handle the child the way the child must be what? Handled. So your business, look at it as your child. You want this child to grow. You want this child to become a useful person in society. So if you perceive your business that way, you will never do anything to undermine your own what? business. You would think about your business the way you would think about your child, because business is life. In fact, actually, that is how the law looks at business. The law looks at a body corporate as an artificial human being, as an artificial what? Human being, capable of doing all the things that a natural person of full capacity can what? Can do. If that is the case, if you manage your own shop, you keep records. Won't you keep records? Do we have people here who don't know the number of children they have? Hello? Is there anyone here who doesn't know the number of children he or she has? You don't know their names. You have records. You have their date of birth. You keep all those records. In fact, you know exactly what this person likes, what that person doesn't what? Like. So if we have our business as the way we will see life, then it means that every single item in your shop, you have an idea. Is that not so? You have a record about it. You can track the movement of the items. We can classify this baseline as bookkeeping. As what? Bookkeeping. You have a record of your business. So you know what goes out. You know what comes in. You know what is left at the end of the day. How many of us go to sleep every night without finding out whether all our children are at home? Hello? We care enough to make sure that everybody is what? Is at home. Everybody has eaten. Because we want to take care of our children. Because you want to take care of your business. Now, is there anyone here who will not be interested in seeing that your child is growing? Is there anyone here who will not be interested? No, isn't it? If you have a 3-year-old child who is supposed to start walking, and that child is not walking at the age of 3, won't you be concerned? You'll be concerned, is that not so? So your concern will take you to ask questions. Why is my child at the same level she was 3 years ago? It's the same way. So if you are managing your business, and your business is at the same level it was 5 years ago, hello, won't you be concerned? Won't you find out why is it that my business is what? At the same level. Hello? You will. So picture it that same way and have a vision for your business that I am starting small, but I must not end what? Small. That is not my portion. All the big businesses we can talk about today, they started very, very what? Small. But they were intentional. They were what? They decided that they want to grow it. They decided that they want to what? Grow it. And growing it is step by step. Step by step. Now, if you don't keep record, if you are not tracking, you don't have records about your business. In fact, you are not keeping track of how much goes out and how much is left, and even how you charge. How are you going to tell whether you are making progress or you are not what? You can't tell. That is problematic. So when we gather together like this, we want to say that what is it that we can do better? So that 1 year from now, if the Lord wills, and we gather together again, we want to be able to hear that people are saying, oh, last year when I came here, my business was like this. Now, given what happened, my business has what? Grown to this level. I've made progress. I've added one more shop. I've now, my market is bigger than maybe Tardy. Maybe it's beyond that and all of that. So that is what we want. We want results. You want what? Results. That is very important. Now, if you serve your child food, you have diagnosed that your child needs more food. When you serve your child food, and you yourself decide to go and take the food from the child, what will happen to the child? You know, at some point, you don't want to eat with your child because you compete the food away. Is that not so? Yeah. It's the same thing we are doing to our businesses. The money we have invested in the business, the profit that the business makes, we don't plow back the profit into the what? Into the business. So you find that, oh, today business has gone very well. Let me go and get some beer. Are you aware? Okay. By the time you realize you've been eating the profit away, a time will come, the capital you started the business with, what happens? A time will come, you realize that the business only exists in a textbook. It's empty. Now, the good thing is that if you keep proper books, records of the things you sell, you know the cost at which you bought them. You have done your calculation. I hope that is okay. You've added your profit to it and all of that. Then in that case, when somebody comes to buy and says that, oh, I can only give 2 cedis when you are asking for 5 cedis, you've done your calculation. You know that, no, if I sell it at 2 cedis, I will not make what? This is how I have to sell it. Now, if you do it that way, you will know that your business is as strong as your customer base. Your business is what? As your customer base. If it happens that way, you know that, look, if people don't show up at my shop, if people are not buying, I am not selling. I can only sell because people are what? If it happens that way, you always treat your customers well. Are you aware? Yeah. You always treat your customers well. We know, in fact, studies have shown that when it comes to SMEs and the rest of them, their customer relationship is not that good. I know that the morning didn't go well for you. I hope that's okay. How you slept, it is logical that in the morning you'll be angry. But please, don't pass it on to your customer. I hope that's okay. No, don't pass it on to your customer. When your customer shows up, put up a smiling what? Face. Okay? That way, the next time the customer will what? Will come back again. Because you need the customer to get to where you want to what? Get to. But I know that sometimes you are so angry that you want to even swallow the customer. It was like the customer made a mistake. Like, and then no. And you know how sometimes it feels like when the customer shows up and he wants to buy something, and you feel like the person is even annoying you. Is that not so? Say, what do you want to buy? You tell me. No. Let's treat, you know, when you walk to the banking hall, you know, let's say you visit Access Bank, you see the way, how nice they are. Are you aware? Yeah, they welcome you and all of that. It is possible if you visit that same person at home, it will be different. I hope you understand that. Yeah, but Access Bank, their business model is built on customer what? Service. So if you are coming from home to work with anger, leave it at the door. Or leave it at home. When you go back home, you can go and what? Sort it out. Because everybody you see around, they are all carrying their own problems. Everybody has something they have to what? Deal with. So take customer service seriously. Don't lose a customer. Are we together? Don't what? Lose a customer. If you lose the existing customer, it's going to cost you more to get another one. And sometimes when you handle your customers very well, they are the ones who will do the advert for you. They are the ones who will do the what? The advert for you. Be nice. Be nice to them. They are the reason you are in business. Now, the good thing is that Ghana has signed onto an agreement or a platform called the African Continental what? Free trade. What that means is that the potential for SMEs to grow is now bigger than a couple of years ago. Hallelujah. That's a good thing. So what it means is that you are in Takoradi, but under this framework, you actually have access to a market that is with 1.3 billion people. So under the African Continental Free Trade, and I'm sure many of us have heard about it, right? How many of us have heard about the African Continental Free Trade? Okay, good. So it means also a good number of us, based on those who have raised their hands, otherwise, there's a lot we can learn about it. The potential is big. Now, whilst we are talking about the fact that the potential is big, it means that the threat is also real. Because somebody selling in Kenya, somebody doing business in Nigeria, has access to your market that you also operate in. Do you see the point? So if we don't do the right things, the right way of managing our businesses, other businesses outside the country will compete away and take your market what? Away. So maybe you prepare jollof rice. Is there anyone here who deals in jollof rice? Maybe you have the birthright over jollof rice. Your jollof rice, everybody anywhere in this town will come for it. Wow. You can put it on the internet. Are you aware? Yeah. And the time is coming, you can just WhatsApp your jollof rice to somebody in Lagos. Okay. Let's think beyond just our immediate what? Market here. Now, we said you must separate your business from you yourself. When you go and take something from your own business and you don't account for it, it's stealing. It's what? You can steal from your own business. Stealing doesn't mean that an outsider is the one who came to what? And I know some of us, when our child is going to secondary school, you just walk to the shop with the person. Is that not so? Say, Ekuya, take whatever, take whatever. Take Milo, take this, take that. No. You are stealing from your own what? Business. Whatever you take from the business, record it. And pay for it yourself. Because the business is separate from you. I hope that is okay. I know you may not agree with me, but just understand that the business you are running is what? It's separate from you. It's a different life on its own. So you can take something from your own business, but pay for it. So that at the end of the day, you'll be able to account for it. You can say that, okay, the business I'm running, this is how much I've invested in it. At the end of the month, at the end of the year, if I make profit, I'm going to share it this way. I will take 1/3. The 2/3, I will invest it in the what? In the business. And make sure that I protect it. That way, 2 years to come, 3 years to come, 4 years to come, you see that the business is what? Is doing well. We know that in Ghana, access to finance, getting money to run your business is difficult. And that is why I think this encounter is very useful. It's always helpful if you walk to a bank and tell them that this is my business and you have records, you can demonstrate it. It makes you attractive. It's also good when you put in place the right structures. The right structures in terms of how the business is run. Maybe you are the CEO. You can appoint yourself as a CEO. Maybe you don't know about bookkeeping, but you can get somebody who understands and can be a small accountant at your level. Sometimes, you don't need to employ the person full time. Hello? You don't need to what? You don't need to. You may not have the money to take a chartered accountant. But the good news in this country is that in almost all the major urban areas, we have schools of higher learning. We have schools of what? Higher learning. In this town, we have Takoradi Technical University. Is that not so? They have a business school or department. There are students doing accounting Is that not so? Doing marketing. This is the time to say, I need 1 or 2 people to come and do internship. To come and do what? With me during the vacation. They can guide you. Is that not for free? And I know what you are thinking about. We don't trust each other. Is that not so? Say, hey, we are made in Ibami shopping. Obekwa ko kami hun semu na amobia debi. To do well, we have to learn to trust people. We have to learn to work with what? With people and work through people. It's harder doing the work of 10 when you can get 10 to do the work. Sometimes the reason we are stressed and the rest of them is because with your dream say, sa business we there, me nkwa na metimi ayeden, I manage it. No. We need to work with people. We need to work through what? People. One of the good examples that we use is, when Jesus came to the world, this whole thing called salvation business, he could have decided to do it alone. Is that not so? And be everywhere. What was his business strategy? He said, heaven doesn't operate that way. He said, okay, I am going to appoint a management team. Call it my board. And the board will be made up of 12 disciples. 12 what? Disciples. What was his strategy? He said that if I could get these 12 to understand the vision, the mission of this business, I can retire at age 33. Hello? How many of us here will be willing to hand over our business at the age of 33? We will ask for more life. Is that not so? God, give me more years so that I'll be able to manage this business to the level where I so desire. Jesus said, no. He said, I am going to spend a lot of time getting these 12 to understand my business model. Once they do, it doesn't matter. I can retire at age what? 33. And I assure everybody that some time to come, this business will have a branch everywhere in the world. That is how come today we are all beneficiaries. 12. 12. The question I'm asking you this morning is that, whom are you training to understand the business you are running the way you understand it? Such that if you are not there, it will not be noticed. Some of you, if you don't go to the shop one day, things will not happen. Are you aware? Then it means that we are not managing the business. You must manage your business in such a way that if you are sick and you don't have to go to work, your business will not suffer. Because business is life. Business is supposed to have a going what? Concern. Your business must live longer than you yourself. Hello? Are we together? That is the understanding. In the Asian culture, they groom their own children to take over from them. So you can find a business that was founded by their grandfather, and the business is still in existence, and the families continue it. But in our part of the world, I can assure you that the business doesn't survive a generation. And it's because we don't do the handing over the business succession appropriately. And you don't need to, this person doesn't have to be your own child or a family member. It may just be somebody else's child, but you understand that this person understands the business, can manage the business for you. Whether you are there or you are not, there's accountability measures and the rest of them put in place. You recognize the expertise of that person, that this person can help me to get to where I want to get to. And whilst I've said all these good things, bear in mind, human beings can surprise you. Hello? Human beings can what? The same way that you yourself, you surprised yourself yesterday. Okay? Don't wait to assemble perfect people before you start to work with people and work through people. You know, when our boss was giving his address, he said the CEO was supposed to be here. But for one or two reasons, he couldn't come. But has anything suffered? No. Because the CEO has been able to delegate somebody he knew that if I'm not here, the function will still go on because there's someone who has been trained, understand the business of Access Bank, and can carry on. That is it. So if that is the case, he doesn't need to worry. And I know for some of us, you think that if you are not there, nothing will move. It's because you are not doing the right thing in the first place. Because you will live one day, then what happens to your business? Okay? So people will surprise you, others will disappoint you, but that is how it is. You are not, and you can never be in a position to assemble perfect people to work with. And let me give you an example. Jesus, when he chose his management team, Bible says that he prayed throughout the night before he chose the 12. Even with that one, Jesus chose a thief. You are waiting to work with perfect people. No, you won't get that here. Learn to trust people. But once you learn to trust people, also monitor them. Also what? Monitor them. But if you keep records, there are ways, standard ways of doing things and the rest of them. It's easier. When you employ somebody, the person understands that this is how things are done. If I do it the other way, I will be questioned. Because you monitor, you track, you evaluate, and the rest of them, and work with them. Those who surprised Jesus, others even denied him 3 times, he still worked with them. He still what? Work with them. Work with people, work through people. That is how you can build your business. In fact, it was the same model God himself exhibited in the Garden of Eden, in the book of Genesis, when the first company was set up. Called that first company the Garden of Eden. God being the shareholder, the entrepreneur, set up this nice business. And God said, I don't want to manage it myself. I'm going to hand over this business to man. And man's job is to what? Is to manage. Then he created Adam and handed over this whole enterprise to Adam. And he said, look, Adam said, I have subsidiaries in this business, different products, different services. Some days, he said, what is this? He said, this is dog. What is this? This is this. Adam was just giving all kinds of things. The first zoologists, they say everything. Adam was just giving names. God still realized that Adam wasn't happy. There was fruit. Are you aware? Fresh fruit. Adam could eat anything from the garden. Then God realized that for a company to be successful, the board must have a minimum of 2 directors. A minimum of what? 2 directors. And now God says that you need a co-director. That's why Adam, with all that I've given you, you are still not happy. And God gave Adam a co-director. Of course, that was what, I won't go into the rest of the story, right? I want to just tell you that that was the only time that Adam appreciated the creation of God. For all that God gave Adam before Eve came, Adam never thanked God. Are you aware? God asked Adam, what is this? He said, this is dog. What is this? This is cat. What is it? This is this. Then when the co-director came, he said, this one, I will not give her any name at all. I'll call her woman because she's a co-director. Since I'm a director, she's also what? Co-director. So sometimes for your business, you may be the CEO. Your husband may be the deputy CEO. Hello? Managing your business. You need to grow. There is a higher expectation for you to do well. To what? To do well. Part of all of this is also, once you put the right measures in place, you get free advice. You get what? Free advice. And I will always encourage you. I'm summarizing. My time is up. I have a lot of things to say, so I don't know if I end right now. I don't know when I go home. I wouldn't know what to do with the rest of the slides. But I'll finish right now so that others can also come in, okay? So there is expectation for you to do well. and for us to grow our businesses. But I will encourage you that anytime you hear of an opportunity like the one Access Bank together with Graphic Business are organizing, avail yourself. Avail what? Yourself. Because this morning, you may hear something that will transform your business. It doesn't have to come from me. For all you know, it came from the Access Bank person who gave the opening remarks. Is that not so? Or it could come from somebody else. In fact, or it could come from even one of the participants. You've picked something. That is how businesses would grow. In some countries, I will share with you, in some countries, every year, they renew their business registration certificate every year. In other countries, they do it every 2 years. It will interest you to know that in some countries, before your business registration will be renewed, they will ask you whether you have attended any program. Are we together? Any program that will help you to manage your business well. Have you attended any seminar about how to improve on your business? If you're able to demonstrate that, oh, in the course of the year, I attended Access Bank, Graphic Business, whatever, it gives the regulator the comfort to what? To renew your license. So what they are saying is that getting more knowledge about how to improve on your business is an important business strategy to pursue. And that is why in some countries, even in Ghana here, we have business resource centers. Okay, and usually if it works well in a cluster system, they organize training, new ways of doing the same old thing, what is new, what is trending, and the rest of them, so that together we all can make the necessary progress. If you decide to go for a loan, let's say from Access Bank, make sure that you channel the loan totally into your your business. I know that, let me say this, it's always good to have a plan before money comes. So if you walk to a bank and you say you want a loan, they want to look at the plan. They want to look at your business plan. It's always good because if you don't have money, the way you think is differently. Are you aware? Yeah. But when money comes, the way you think is also different. Some of us are humble, but that's not our nature. Okay, that's not our nature. It's because we don't have money. So there's a certain level of poverty-induced humility. Is that okay? In the system. Recognize who you are. Okay? So when money comes, then it's not like money will change you, but poverty held something within you constant. So money came to what? Unleash it. By the time you realize, it's something else. It's something else. So have a plan for your business and be conscious about growing your business. I hope that is okay. Be conscious. Track it. After today, if you don't have that, you can start that. I believe that we have Takoradi Technical University, they have a business school, or so you can seek guidance. In fact, in the course of the introduction, I heard somebody from there who will also be speaking to us. Get those contacts. I hope that's okay. Seek advice. How do I put the basic books, regulations? Is your business registered? I hope that is okay. Is your business certified? The product you are into, the services, is it certified? And all of that. And then also packaging. Packaging. A lot of people have gone to school today. I hope that's okay. So even if you run a chop bar, you have to be able to make the packaging a little nice. Okay. We are people, we are a generation, we are driven by complex things, even if it is not real. Those who make it big are the ones who produce complex things. So at the higher level, we say that the world thrives on margins. Those who produce complex things, they are the ones who are able to add what? Margins. So for instance, you see this phone. Maybe the phone you are carrying, you paid, let's say, 3,000 Ghana cedis for it. But for all you know, you are using less than 10% of the installed features on the what? on the phone, and yet you paid for everything. Some of the things they have installed in this phone, I may not be able to use it all my life. And yet I would have what? Paid for it. Somebody has made what? Profit. Somebody has made what? Money. And all of that. To end, I want to give all of us a charge. This country, we are the ones who can develop it. I hope that's okay. The country rests with you. The country is counting on you. The universities exist because you are in business. Universities don't employ. You are the ones who what? Employ. So universities have confidence in admitting students, training them, and graduating them because we know that businesses are also doing their part so that they can also what? Recruit them. Let's not create a division between businesses and universities. Let's work together. I hope that's okay. It's not everything that we know, but the little that we know, we can equally what? Share, so that together we can make Ghana a worthy nation. Thank you.
Sekondi-Takoradi na yaba no ya na mo refem ho. Bia wa ha e wo question bi sansana ya ba ya panel discussion, and it was sembi bottom na ma wonsado. You have any question to ask, just raise your hand.
All right. What from is Santi? Mifi Ekma.
Okay.
And I'm into poultry.
Okay.
Nkoko
na mprakwa na bazi.
Nkoko.
All right.
I'm the Prof. Rekasan, Mitepa, Fana na Menyaji. But then I do cry, Mam paying I'm not basically no focus on loan. But I'm there this time, personally, I'm there. I'm alone now, fine. But the other party, you know, some fun with me to a big wahala. And if it's loan or think of interest. But I suggest that at least you can invest in the person, right? And finally, maybe I would like to invest in, say, a watering plant. Now, let's say I don't have enough money. You can procure that plant for me. Then by and by, you monitor me, and by means you need to be getting your returns. This will follow in whatever, how many years that the plant will be in existence. If let's say anything I want to buy, I quickly fall on the bank. Then the bank it goes on. But when you say loan, that means the next two plants, I have to come for the bank. I have to see the bank for the plant. But that is cash wise. Meanwhile, I think that is not good for the entrepreneur. I think for now we should shift from giving loans to entrepreneurs than I think that is shifting loans to entrepreneurs, then giving them grants.
So is it a question or just a suggestion?
It's both. Both, yes.
Okay, so Prof. So the second person, then Prof will answer that question. The second person, yes. Your name, what you do, and then your question.
My name is Charles Otuyane. I'm into Charles Cleaning Services.
You are into?
Charles Cleaning Services, janitorial works.
Okay, right. What are you into?
Question is, almost you to debate to me, abeji loan. And then I'm bentam there, but my opinion is, yeah, fan say, you to know where your school, company be into me employee, you know. Now, I also idea be with me to set up business, but only got to set up business. Then a banks in the bit me, yes, I'm a youth. But in the business plan, ABBA.
Fantastic.
I bet you still on this car, but most of the banks, you know, they are to make a change and say we should save. But meanwhile, in Panafino school, on your mother, on Nisika, and so bedding with me, I start up the business, or bedding with me a saving.
Okay.
So bedding a business, no one what me that on board. Now, I fulfill senior opportunities.
All right. So, Prof will be helping us in answering those questions. Prof, if you can respectfully come to the stage and answer.
These are very useful questions, and thank you for bringing that to our attention. So for the first one, there are various ways of financing your business. In fact, if everybody had their own way, they will finance their own business with their own what? Money. But as we go higher in finance, it gets to a point and you realize that even if you had the money, you wouldn't want to finance all your business with your own what? Money. Okay? And you may want to use bank loan or debt because what I'm coming to say may be a bit complex because when you employ debt or loan in your financing, depending on the tax regime, you end up paying a lower what? Tax. Because the interest on the loan is tax deductible. That's immediate savings for you. Now, it's always good to borrow if you are managing your business efficiently and your business is in a profitable situation. I will tell you why. You can actually use somebody's money, invest it in your business, make profit. I hope that's okay. Go and pay the interest, the principal, and pocket the rest. Are you not smart? But this is where the danger is. As I said earlier, if you went for the loan and use it to sponsor your wedding or something else, or let's say you run poultry, and anytime you want to prepare soup, you just go and catch one of the fowls because it's yours. Then it means that a time will come, there will be less fowls for you to sell to pay down on the what? On the loan. Whilst I've said that, I agree with you that sometimes, depending on the type of the business, the stage of the business also influences the type of financing that you can what? You can use. But as you are asking this question, the good news is that the bank is here. So if you check when he gave his statement, he actually told us how much they have given to SMEs. Millions of what? CDs. We know that the biggest problem with SMEs is that they may not have collateral. But they are telling us that they gave these loans without what? So if you check, you realize that the way we have seen banks in the time past is changing. The banks themselves are also what? Changing and then getting closer to business what? Models. So as they also listen to your challenges and the rest of them, they also design products, banking product that will help your business to what? To succeed. It's always also good to start your business with your own savings. It may be small. You know, when it comes to savings, which is your equity, and then loan or debt, a good way to understand this is to look at, forgive me if I use this example. Please forgive me in advance before I start, okay? So, the interaction between your savings, which is equity, and then loan, which is debt, is like breast milk. You know breast milk? We still go home for it. Is that not so? Every human being started with breast milk. That is equity. So the health people will tell you that if you feed your child on breast milk for 6 months, the child will become very, very what? Strong. When you start your own business with your own equity, you can take risk with your own what? Equity. Before debt, loan, which is like fufu banku, if you give birth today and you give the child fufu, what will happen? Okay. So there are stages. There are stages. And I'll tell you this. You know, we always say that we don't earn a lot of money. That's why we can't save. I hope that's okay. But I can tell you that if we examine our expenditure critically, you can always find space. Are you aware? To save something small to begin your what? Your business. I know people in the university who say that they don't have money to save to start their own business. But I can tell you, those people make calls as though they print the credit themselves. Are you aware? Yeah. Do you know that there are people in our part of the world who spend more time on Facebook than the founder of Facebook himself? The more time you are spending on Facebook, you are using data. You are using what? And that is money. That is going. People spend more money tweeting than actually So if you audit, you realize that if you want to be particular about starting your business, grow your business, there are so many things you cut away. There are so many funeral donations that you wouldn't what? Do, because it's going to affect your what? Your business. There are so many things you wouldn't do because you want to. And I'll quote a study that was done. Asia, North America, Africa, and this was university students. And when I checked the data, it resonates with what happens in our part of the world also. In Asia, the rest of them, what students rank higher is technology, because they see the future as digitization. The second biggest thing is savings. So when you see people who are in this category and the next level is savings, it tells you that they want to go, finish school and go and start their own what? Their own business. So if you are in the investor and you know that, okay, I want to go and start my own business, it will guide how you eat. It will guide how you spend your what? Your money. Because how you spend your money determines where you want to be. And by the time you realize, you may not save 1 million, but you would have saved something enough for you to what? So that if you walk to somebody and say that, look, I want to start this business, but I've saved 50,000, but I actually need 200,000 to start this. It's easier for somebody to come to your help. Rather than saying that I have a business idea, I don't have anything to start it. You give me everything to start. I mean, you know, if you are taking risk with your own money, it's better than taking risk with somebody's what? Money completely. It doesn't work that way. So you have to demonstrate, you have to put something on the table yourself. So let's audit all of that, and you realize that gradually we will be able to make what? Savings, and by the time you realize, because business growth is gradual. You can't start in over a year. People have spent like 50 years to build a sustainable business model. You can't do that in a week. Consistency, small gains. Gradually, by the time you realize, your business has what? Expanded. It's the same way that if you want to destroy the business, it's so easy. You are taking one cup. By the time you realize, the whole gallon is gone. You are out of business. Thank you.
Oh, young boy and some I'm a prof. Young boy and some. Why I say? Young team unlocking the potential of SMEs through digitization. On the yogoten in the internet and a waban. You be said they take advantage. Nayan so is a pager. Henejuman as I ever hanging ano ninchil chirmanian on your baby crunkrun time. Now, we are going to have our panel discussion. We have 3 resource persons here. Each one will be telling us what they do and how they've been able to leverage on this digitization system to improve their businesses. In Singapore, you be so be when you more yeah. And as an oh, you want to ask a question? Oh, should I permit? Okay, you go ahead.
Okay, my name is Francis.
We'll take only Francis and we'll end that, please.
I have a business name as Amwa Gifty Enterprise. I deal in mobile money, bank, agency banking, and other stuffs. But my issue is with the small business, the tax issues are killing us. We are not looking for money because I completed University of Winneba at 4 years ago. I tried looking for business I couldn't get. I saved and I started mobile money business. And I've been into the system for 4 years now. I've not gone for any bank loan. But the issue is when the foreigners come, they give them tax exemption. Why we the youth trying to get work, can't we also enjoy the same tax? Because for me, I pay more than 7 taxes. I pay STMA, I pay GRA, and a whole lot of taxes. So the professors who can talk on our behalf, they should help us in this. The tax is killing the small businesses. Thank you.
There are a lot of tax concessions in our laws that our own businesses are not aware of. there are some exemptions and the rest of them that requires you to apply for them. But what we have also noticed is that a lot of Ghanaian businesses, indigenous businesses, do not understand the tax system so that they can take advantage of some of the exemptions, some of the concessions that are available. So maybe what we have to do is that we need to be able to educate businesses, SMEs, in terms of some of the exemptions that are available that they can actually take advantage of. The way the tax works is that if the law grants you some concessions, the law will pretend that to know it for you. So some of them you yourself have to take the steps to take advantage of them and the rest of them. And what we also don't do in our part of the world is that we don't have strong business chambers and associations that can push through certain things that affect us to get them addressed quickly. And therefore we just struggle, we cope helplessly, and the rest of them. So I understand where you are coming from, but based on the little that I also know, I know that there are some exemptions, concessions within the tax environment that Ghanaian businesses are not aware of, okay? And sometimes they are unable to take advantage of that and in managing their businesses. It is also possible, and we have encountered that, where tax officials just descend on businesses and take monies that actually they were not supposed to take. But in reality, those SME businesses don't even know whether they are supposed to pay or they are not supposed to pay, and the rest of them. So this is an important first step, but we need a little bit more education also in understanding the tax system. I know there have been strong recommendations to GRA to simplify the tax, particularly for SMEs, so that it will be easier for them to understand. Because sometimes the jargons in the act and the rest of them, sometimes you need to fast and pray before you understand. Even with that, it may not help you, right? So, and I'm sure I understand why when Jesus was picking his disciples, he chose Matthew, who is a tax collector, so that assuming they come to ask him to pay tax, Matthew will be able to calculate it well for him. So pick relevant friends. Also, I hope that's okay. And all of that. But some of these things can also be addressed through your association. You have an association here, right? Maybe mobile network agent or so. So the association can actually tabulate some of these concerns, right? And these days, it's easier because the media is virtually everywhere. You can channel to some of the media, and then they will They will pick it up. Yeah, and then by the time you realize, together we are making progress. We know that the government also needs the tax to develop. The local authority also need the tax to develop. But there are right taxes that we can pay, but sometimes there are some exemptions. So there are some provisions that if your business is less than 5 years old, you are exempt from certain kind of taxes and the rest of them. We have to understand. The big companies, the big banks, they are able to employ tax experts, chartered accountants, who know these things and advise them to how to even take advantage of some of those. But the small businesses, you may not be able to hire a tax expert or so, but through your association. Okay, so there are some things that you can do effectively through your association, and the cost will be minimal on individuals. So if the association has to even take, let's say, a chartered accountant who will review some of these things and small contribution you pay the person, the group would have benefited from that. And then the group can also say, oh, we identified this, okay, how do we lobby? In our part of the world, we don't lobby. But the whites, the developed country, they lobby for their interest. Okay, maybe there's a particular tax that we think is affecting us, right? So how do we engage the authorities in the right way so that we can do something about this? Thank you very much.
Prophet Adasipi. So this is the Access Bank Graphic Business SME Clinic. The first edition was in Accra, second one Kumasi, and today Sekondi-Takoradi is having her part here at Akroma Plaza.
Have you thought of having access to your news at any time and anywhere? Graphic Communication is giving you the opportunity to have news not only in hard copy but also in a digital form. Yes, you can have access to news at all times and even before they reach the newsstands. Simply download the Graphic News Plus from Google Play Store on your Android and App Store on your iOS device and get your digital news from your favorite daily graphic, Graphic Business, The Mirror, Graphic Showbiz, Junior Graphic, and Graphic Sports. Download your Graphic News Plus now and choose your preferred package daily, weekly, monthly, and annually, and access free news on various interest areas as well. Visit us on graphic.com.gh for further information. Graphic News Plus, connecting people through news.
I'm introducing my panel members here. At the far end, he's an IT guru. He's with IT Consortium, Chief Information Security and AML Officer, Masa Ebenezer Ato Yosen. Let's give it to him. And then next to him is a lecturer, senior lecturer, of course, with Faculty of Business Studies, Takoradi Technical University, that is TTU, here in the Western region. Dr. Abigail Paddy. Give it to Doc. Okay, so that Doc is right here on my immediate right. That is Doc Abigail Paddy. And then this very place that we are seated right now, Akroma Plaza, Yareka, Oye, CEO, Odana, Rebecca Odro, Yemwen Semantibeki. Okay, so Zamaya Nyede, you may be saying some questions. We'll be asking them questions, the secrets of their successes in their business, their respective fields, and how they've been able to take advantage of digitization to reach this level. Now, questioner. Okay, so I'll be starting with the IT man himself, Uncle Ebenezer Ato Yosen. So, Uncle Eben, what do you do at IT Consortium? What do you do? Equal IT Consortium. What do you do?
Hi. Thank you for the question. In IT Consortium, we are a financial services provider. We use technology to support financial services. So, for instance, your Momo, the way you pay for your passports, the way you pay your taxes, we drive technology that supports this. And even the way you pay your electricity and water bills, we have technology behind it that drive all these things. How did we start? And I would like to mention that most of the traits, most of the things that Professor Bokkin spoke about when you are starting a business, it's very critical to achieve a success. We've been in business for about 20 years now. It started with one person, and it grew to a group of 5 people. We were 6, one dropped along the line. There was a commitment to make sure that we were not spending the money that we were getting. We were not paying ourselves. Any money we use on fuel or anything, we made sure that we put it back into the business. It took years before we started paying ourselves. We employed separate accountants to take care of our business. We have friends. We formed a network of people who had expertise, and we called upon them when we needed them. That also meant that when they needed us, we had to be present for them. And I would say it helped the business a lot. My role at IT Consortium generally pertains to everything online, everything digital. Most of the time, we are dealing with systems more than people. We have the customer-facing people who interact with our clients and our customers. And I'll tell you, we have a wide range of customers, from the merchants at the roadside to big corporates and even government. And there's one common thing that runs through. We always look for problems that we can solve with technical solutions. So identify the problem, we will come up with a solution that will address it technically. And in doing that, we make sure that that solution doesn't only look at the problem immediately, but it looks at the problem from end to end. We look at the whole life cycle of the problem. The company started by providing educational solutions for schools. We realized that when you attend school, student records management was a challenge. And when you finish school and you are even going for your transcripts or even going for a result, it takes time. If you are not careful, some grades will be manufactured for you. You can't even go back and trace your grades in your first year, your second year. So we first started with the junior high school, and we looked at the model and realized that, well, the problems also exist at the universities, at the tertiary institutions. So how do we leverage the sort of knowledge that we have? And when going through this, we only had 2 laptops. We only had 2 laptops. We went in without taking money. That risk you need to take sometimes. We went in and said, we approached the school and said, try us. We are going to do this thing for you in 2 weeks. And if it doesn't work, you don't pay, we lose because we'll be wasting our time in doing this. And they said, okay, and they expected us not to succeed. But we took the challenge and started putting into place tools and technologies to make sure that no matter where the lecturer was found on campus, they were able to access the students' records. They were able to identify the students. Students were able to go back and even challenge the marks that they've got because there is evidence. There is a trail of whether the mark changed from E to F or from D to C. You are able to track all that. So when that confidence was built, we decided, well, this thing can do a lot. So then we looked into other areas. We looked at payments. We looked at also gearing into banks when the FinTech and the Payment System Act was passed. We looked at taking advantage of that and also providing solutions for the banks, for the financial services, so that some of the things they do, which is not their core business and their core technologies, they rely on some of the FinTech companies, the financial services companies, which we play a bigger part in. When Momo started, we were there to help also with the way Momo payments are carried out. So the whole idea is if you decide to digitize your business, there are a whole lot of tools available. There are a whole lot of things you can do. There are a whole lot of services available that you can rely on that will make your work very easier and more efficient. And like it was said earlier, if you keep your records well, if you are compliant with the standards that services require, if you're able to market yourself well, communicate and collaborate, then you are ready to do business. You will get all the support you require. So I will start with this in a brief. Okay. If there are further questions.
Yeah, but then, Uncle Eben, when I was coming, someone gave me this question to ask you. That is it any business that has correlation with this digitization? For instance, I sell sachet water. Does it matter digitization? I sell probably tomatoes or garden eggs in the Takoradi market. What does it got to do with digitization?
Let's, with the age we are in and where we are going, everything is controlled digitally. Your very existence is identified digitally. You have a passport, you have a driver's license, COVID came, you have a COVID vaccination card. you have a phone number, you do WhatsApp, you send text messages, right? So your very identity is identified by a number. And that number could be your phone number, and quite recently, it's your NIA number, your national identification number, that identifies you through everything you do. If you go to the banks, you have a bank account number. And the bank identify you when you quote your bank account number. So if you go to the DVLA, there is a license number that identifies you. If you go to the business registration, there is a business identification number that identifies you. So your mere existence is digitalized. If I sell sachet water and I decide to do it the normal way, go for the water, come and stand by the roadside, shout for people to buy, or find a central place where people come for wholesale and collect it. How am I keeping track of these things? How am I telling myself that this particular vendor who picked a pack from me actually sells more than 1,000 bags every 3 days or every week? What tools are available to me? How do I communicate with them? Do I have records of all of them that I can address and say, you know, next week prices are going up by 20%, so I'll send them the message so that when they are coming for the next consignment, they are aware before they come. Digitalization plays a core part in everything we do these days.
And now let me come to Mama Doc Abigail Paddy. She is with the Faculty of Business Studies at TTU, Takoradi Technical University. Doc, so Parkway Simpson walks into your office. He needs an advice in a way that he will take advantage of this digitization. As you know, a lecturer, of course, a senior one, of course, with the Business Studies faculty. What advice will you give me?
Thank you very much for the question. And I'm standing on the existing protocols already established. I want to say a very big thank you to Prof. That presentation was very insightful. We are grateful. Yeah, so back to your question, how you can finance your business through digitalization.
Take advantage of the system.
Good. Like Prof said, our businesses are like our life. And what makes us in existence is the blood in us. So we can relate our finances to be the blood that drives the business. So that we need to increase our level of funding to be able to sustain the business. Back until the turn of the century, traditional sources of entrepreneurial finance were through the 3 F's that we know. That's our friends, our families, and some will say the fools. That's the person doesn't really know about your business, but will still come and invest into your business. It will take a person with great faith. So we call them the fools. But after some years, we've realized that the system is changing in terms of the structure and even the participants, those who even want to help you to improve the finances when it comes to your enterprises. So if I will agree with my brother who just spoke, digitalization is now the way to go in terms of financing our business. Yes, we have alternative sources of funding. We have the personal funds, Prof talked about it. We have the equity capital, we have debt financing, and then we have other sources. But now the way to go now is to be using digitalization. One of the methods that we can consider as businesses or as small and medium businesses is to use what we call the crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, using crowd to fund your business through the use of technology. Using technology to fund your business, using the crowd. So in technology, we are talking about the social media platforms or, yes, the internet platforms, so that we can identify some of these social media platforms and use it to finance our business. That is digitalization that we are talking about. So platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp. Now, WhatsApp, people are marketing their businesses on their status. Like Prof said, the number of times we spend online is more than the number of times we work at Market Circle to come and check the items in your shop. So if you have a phone, you have a smartphone, you are always posting other things apart from advertising your business on your status, then you are not making use of the phone as a business person. So the way to go now is crowdfunding. And we are saying that crowdfunding is basically using people who are not experts in your area to fund your business using the internet. There are several ways they can do that for you. We have the equity, we have the P2P, or we call the peer-to-peer crowdfunding. We have the rewards crowdfunding, and then the donation way of crowdfunding your business. So with the equity, we are looking at the founder having a share in your business, still using technology. With the peer-to-peer, it's like debt financing, still using technology. So you advertise your idea, your businesses online, and then you get a sponsor or an investor who will show interest in your business and say that I want to support you with this amount of money. So the idea is that after everything, you pay me back my principal with some amount of interest. That is the peer-to-peer. Then we have the rewards. These people, they don't take back interest. All that they want is that after we have supported your business, we want you to probably also advertise for us, like your souvenirs, emboss our names on your souvenirs, or so, for example, the caps that we have, we could see Access Bank on it. So these are the rewards way we can use we can use digitalization to improve the financing of our business. Then the last one is donation. These people, they don't need anything. All that they need from you is thank you. After they have financed your business, just go back to them and say, thank you for supporting my business. So digitalization has come to stay. We can use it to finance our business in so many ways. And one of the ways we are saying is crowdfunding. And if you want to go by the crowdfunding, then there are certain pillars you have to know. You need a website developer or someone who is good in IT. You need to know the rules and regulations that govern this internet way of financing your business. The person who is coming to invest into your business, the investor, you also need to know about the person. And then you yourself, the entrepreneur, you who have the idea or who want somebody to come and invest into your business, you are also a pillar in this whole ecosystem. So basically, we have 4 groups of people. The one who will develop the platform for you, the website designer, we have the laws and the regulations governing the whole thing, and then the 2 of us, the one who is looking for the funding, and then the one who is also ready to finance the business using the platforms that has been established. So I have gone through the various types that we have in terms of the crowdfunding. Now, the major difference between the crowdfunding and then the traditional way of funding our business is that with the crowdfunding, we are dealing with non-professionals in our area. So because of internet, you have posted your ideas online. You have somebody who is not into hospitality, but your idea is so catchy that that person will develop an interest in financing your business for you. You have a wider coverage of people buying into your idea. Like Prof said, you are in Takoradi, but your items is far away in Nigeria, far away in Malaysia. You have people who finance your business for you. So you have a wider coverage of audience to buy into your business or your idea. So how do I use crowdfunding to finance my idea? Or how do I use crowdfunding as a business idea? First of all, you need to select the communication platform that you want to use. So your website designer will help you to identify the kind of platform you want to use. We have several of these platforms available. Fortunately for us in Ghana, the Bank of Ghana has a policy on this crowdfunding system. Because when it comes to these things, we have some challenges. So Bank of Ghana has policy that regulates these activities. Because one of the challenges you are likely to face is that you will not even see your investors face to face for you to sit down and then agree on certain things. But Bank of Ghana has a policy that regulates all these things. And the policy is there for all of us to go through and know what to do and what not to do. Secondly, pick a communication platform. So based on what you want, we have 4 of the types: the equity, the peer-to-peer, the donation, and the reward. Know which one you want to use to finance your business, and then plan on the strategy you are going to use to communicate on the various platforms your website designer will design for you. So if you are going Facebook, know how to brand your items, know how to communicate your ideas to the public or the world, let me put it that way, for them to buy into your idea. And also create a promotion plan. Create a promotion plan, because it's kind of time consuming. You should be able to have a plan as to how you can advertise yourself to the world. So you don't just post your items today and then you go back to sleep. You need to put in more effort so that you can get the results that you are expecting to have. Like I stated earlier on, we have several of these crowdfunding platforms in Ghana we can all make use of. And research has shown that they have made a lot of, they have made a lot of funding for several SMEs in Ghana. The first crowdfunding platform was established somewhere, I think, in 2005. Then US also followed up in 2006, 2007, 2 others came. But here in Ghana, we also have several of them we can make use of. So you just go use Google. If you want to find out anything, just ask Google. Just Google it and find out the several crowdfunding platforms that we have in Ghana. And then in all this, that we are using internet to finance our business, what we need to know as entrepreneurs or as business owners is that we do not buy new things when we can use the used ones. Do not buy used ones when you can lease. Do not lease when you can borrow. Do not borrow when you can barter. Do not barter what you can beg for. Do not beg for what you can scavenge. Do not scavenge what you can get for free. Do not take for free what someone will pay you for. And finally, do not take payment for something that people will bid for you. So as entrepreneurs, we need to make use of this global village that we find ourselves in to finance our businesses.
Wow. Yembonsema doc wakasapi. Yana brunusa na doc yanan samano kaina pi wamba doc no debiu. Now we wrap up. But then the very place where we are currently seated, Akroma Plaza, we have the CEO with us, and she's going to tell us the story behind Akroma Plaza. Emi wawumo Akroma ha minyemedama ma Akroma nanka sozebayen or started as a baker. Minyim asama ante Becky Baka Afan Akroma Plaza, the history and the successes behind Akroma Plaza.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Actually, Akroma Plaza was started by a family. and it's still in the family. And I say, extra pictures no which you wanna, the black and white picture now. I'm the little one on my mother's lap. Now, it started with the family, like I said. Now, it started at our grandmother's place, where I started with tea and bread. And it was very challenging for me as a little one then, because now I'm in Mukunsu, with my other cousins to go and fetch water before we go to school. And behind the house was our next sleeping place. That is where we'll continue our sleep for like some few minutes before we go and fetch the water. And we will bake. Normally, the baking was done in the mixing and everything was in the evening. Now, we were told to oil the baking sheets because what's Yesu panuma is some anything. So we were just, our role was to oil the baking sheets while the older siblings will do the molding, the kneading, and then put it in a baking sheet. And sana, you bake, and then the cutting, and then before we'll use the margarine. And then we'll mix the tea in big pans or big pots. Then early in the morning, this was around the late 70s, early 80s. And then 6 o'clock, before my father would even go to work, we all served tea in cups. It was a big cafeteria. Then there was a long queue, surprisingly, because around that time, the market was there because it was between PNDC era. So the market was there for the tea and the bread. So the queue would be there. We will all serve the tea, bread in the morning. And then before we all go to school, and our father will go to work, and then our mom to also attend to other business, that is selling flour. Okwakafa is the ones that she will sell outside and the ones she will bring for baking. And after some time, people started asking, well, they were coming in the afternoon for food. And that was when our parents realized that, oh, so if people want the tea and the bread in the morning, they were also asking for food in the afternoon. So we turned the cafeteria into a chop bar in the afternoon too, whereby people would come in the afternoon to come and eat. So it was chop bar with long benches and table like a school cafeteria. Then gradually, my mom and my dad were introduced to the provisions business. And then that was when we were carrying the stuff on our head in the all of us after school. Then you put your bag down, you change, and then you go to Market Circle to sell. And at that age, I knew Market Circle in and out with my older siblings because we knew we were going around with the provisions on our head for mosquito coil, a tiger head, mosquito coil, and all those things on our heads. Then from there, our parents were building capital. We hadn't been introduced to the bank. They were building their capital gradually. Then we got U84. U84 started, where Chop Bar moved to U84 before it was turned into a provision shop. So after some time, because it was around Market Circle, not Chop Bar and Ketinketo markets inside Ninya, and they were also posing as competitors to us. So then our parents realized that no. Then at that time, provisions, why don't we make it big? Then we opened U84, the smaller one. It wasn't a full shop, but because of determination and their efforts to make it work, and the credibility and truthfulness and honesty, gradually the business expanded because now people were giving the items to them on credit, and they were paying as and when they agreed to pay. So based on the honesty and the credibility, it expanded. That was when the banks saw the growth in the business over the period, and then decided to help us with facilities. And based on that, then we got the U84, the bigger one. And through that one, my mom's passion for Idziban and my dad's support as a banker the business grew. Then we decided to have Akroma Plaza, where I also started on a small-scale restaurant down there. And after some time, people were coming asking for a place to hold meetings, a place to hold functions. So the vision of us having this auditorium came up. And then also, they were also demanding that sometimes when they come, they want to be close to the premises that they will have their meetings. So the hotel also came on board. And see, all this when it was the family, siblings, and extended families we were also grateful to, because they also helped in establishing the business as it is, and then as it has grown to this day. We've had our challenges. It's not been easy. We've diversified into other areas. Because our mom decided that she wanted to do export and import. It didn't work out. And she tried twice, and I said, okay, this is not meant for me. So she decided that, okay, then let's concentrate on what is meant for us. So it is not as easy as you think it is. We all started on a very difficult note. And even as it is, we still have our challenges. But because of the vision that we have, and then the idea of us to expand and to diversify, we are still working towards that one. It didn't take a day for us to get to where we are. It took, one thing that sometimes, some people, I don't know whether to say a mistake, is not to include their children in their business. Because a time will come, you become so weak. And I know of, I don't want to mention the name, but my mom's friend who is having this challenge because the kids were not introduced to the business earlier. So as they've grown near, she's trying to push the business to them. They've also established their own businesses and their own dreams and passions. So she's not able to get the kids' attention. And most of the time, at a point in time, you lose track of so many things because old age sets in. I will free back. Then you realize that a whole lot of things people are unsure or your children don't know. Then the family might lose those things or those assets or those aid. So as much as possible that we were introduced to the business as early and as young as we were, I would suggest that we also introduce, if it's possible, introduce our businesses to our children to also continue. It is still in the family. Wow. We are still being managed by the family. Thank you very much.
But then, I am a typical Sekondi-Takoradi boy. I remember when Mommy died, many were those who were saying, oh, this business will collapse because of what they have seen other business do in the metropolis. Na Doc Rekasan, a Prof Rekasan or Kasambi, or say, or what the wage man on unison, or one finna a busy was assassinated. On the wage man on you. Mommy died 5-6 years ago, right? How many years now? How many years? 7 years. And Akroma Plaza is still thriving. Ibotumena can even advantage in what take key. Oh, damn, Jetata AG means you madra and the ye doing Akroma there, or you're very vibrant. Oh, Kromaha, as against Adrian and Croft working or Mama we 7 years ago.
7 years ago, I would say that it wasn't like this. Now we have mobile money. People place orders and pay, and then send people to pick them up. In Canada, and Kabodis, often what this carabos sma ubi moaba beji or ubuti. Now the order is prepared ahead of time, so the person just passes by and picks it up. Now we are also taking advantage of the social media. Programs like this, later on you see on our Akroma platform on social media. And then we are also advertising it on the internet. So if you go to Akroma Plaza Hotel, you see Akroma Plaza on the internet, you see it there, you see the reviews, and I'm so grateful to the customers who have given us positive reviews for their visits to Akroma Plaza. And to say we are still growing, and we want your business. So any business, please call us, and then we are here to give you the best business.
Let's give it to Mama Rebecca Odro, the CEO, Akroma Plaza, here in Sekondi-Takoradi. If you have any question for any of them, just about 3-4 persons, and we'll be done.
I want to ask, we who don't know the digitals, how can you help us to
have an legitimate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So those of us who are businessmen and women but don't have any idea about this internet and social media and all these, how do we get to know about it?
So I think it's not too late. We learn every day. We can also leverage on the help of the people around us who know. If we have children who are very tech savvy, we can put our ideas forth to them, and then we'll see how they run it by us and see how they develop those ideas. I'm also sure there are training schools around that also will help us, at least with the basics of what digitization means, how to search for products, how to make ourselves available online. I'm sure you use WhatsApp.
But you use WhatsApp. Do you have WhatsApp phone?
Yes.
Do you use WhatsApp?
Yeah, so at least that is the beginning. You are able to interact with a digital device. And you use Google. You search for things. If there is an electrical product that someone is looking for, you can carry out a search. So that is the beginning. The more we expand on these tools, the better we are to use them efficiently for our business. I'm sure Madam here also did learn something about computers. So it's not too late. Just as we use WhatsApp, Skype, Zoom for video calls, WhatsApp video calls to communicate with people, we learn. The tools are available. So the first step is to accept that we don't know, which you've done. The second step is to make the effort to find out where that solution is. And the solution is right in our palms. So let's explore from there. And now let's utilize the support around us, and we can get all the information we need.
Thank you very much. Ben, we'll go to the second person.
Me poto business de dina ama ahemfo. Me a beautician. Me salon ewo Christian Hills. Pocho me pada me bisa amda ma bekure kasa no oka bibi de. Se yare ye adwuma yan try de yade ye na ebusua ebeka ho sane ebeya ochina bi ye ni ho a adwuma no onkogu na mum adwuma ne bekodo. Na mpada me bisa de se ere ye de wo ba no obesua wo adwuma no ana de obeba behwe adwuma na ere na amadachi bi eni ho an so we take place na so oye na adwen de adwuma no na adwene ni ho kra da obeya such a person no ebeya ne den. For example, maame ba mikita ba ekro for now 20 years 50 JSS kopum SS or covers ma ka bia da medwuma onye osi de bida onsua intimi poncho da no beya ne den.
I don't know whether Uncle Eben or okay, Mama Akroma.
Say American yenya ye bi. Wo friend na ye gon ibi na me kasha abu ne chi na maada. After school, it's a stage. Actually, it's a stage in life. After school, yes, U84, we were supposed to go and sell. Mundrunta, makake dinkoma ko diagram ko ansana. Exactly. But it got to a stage. I realized that, we were given roles to play in the business, and that role, no, it's kind of brought my conscience today to the Mwejuma year after school. So it's like after school, I know I have to relieve my cousin to get no poly, and I have to come and relieve her. Na ame my babo machine. So gradually, our parents instilled it in us there by making the business fun, by making the business exciting. sometimes we throw it to them as an ultimatum. But we are forgetting that it's a stage that they are, no? Maybe they are not really ready. There are the other things distracting them. I had friends, sometimes walk a beach na we used to cry. We didn't have that kind of life. But looking back now, we appreciate our parents for not allowing us to be doing them beach, plenty things. Now we are responsible. They taught us how to be responsible. So it's not going to be easy to introduce them to the business. And another thing to be also in that sometimes they don't have the passion for it. We had the passion for the business because we saw the excitement in it, and it brought us together as a family. Because all the songs in this world, with all the shouting, all the jama, and all those things. So it was exciting for us. But it's not everyone who has the passion for the business that the parents. So we need to look at what's the passion of the child, and then rather guide the child to get that whatever she wants to do. And then one day, it's like, if unto 1 year we do money pool, maybe after some time, and now it might be too early, after some time, she will understand your pain. And then you're suffering, and you decide, oh, mommy, let me do it. And she might even make it better and introduce a whole lot of like digitalization into it. So we should learn to know when to introduce the business to the child. If the passion is not there, if you force it on yet.
Oh, yeah, that's a P. A third person.
Okay.
What's
up? Well, from JK Eshen, Joseph Kwekwe Eshen.
Okay.
Me to an accessories na me mobile money agent and so.
Accessories, as in phone accessories.
Purchanger.
Okay.
Na I'm the you bed in Canada Access Bank for asset papa and graphic business for the opportunity. And now in a quarrel so we are no be a corner or a digital ampa. No me P resessa. Your co-school or the year unions you know to the way we are no corner. However, my question to IT personnel in there.
Okay.
How expensive is digitalization? The reason why I'm very said I'm questioning there. Of late, you go for post in your or one apps na no kaka ho. When you get close to IT for now, a bob at the end of the day, and cry because expensive. A big bobo also just to get an app for you able to the menu main. Until you pay there, you be sane yesre. On the bankers, especially Access Bank, if you are one or the mobile, banking, they will create the app. Now I set to app. Now my agent, agent Mahono. Now from then you can be able to serve everybody. Why bra and shada into virtually free. And to say you record them digital no, you manage human as a whole. How expensive it is now. Boy Ben able to so Edia boa SMEs no ketena yana hodin so no. Boy Ben able to model.
So one onye de bia na ibe here app to promote your application. Say if you're online, there are a lot of free tools that you can make use of. Most of us start with WhatsApp in the first place to send messages around to advertise our business, which is free. Till you get to the point where you want WhatsApp business with other features. 2, say Skype na yema, which is free. You can still communicate. Say a videos we were free video making tools online. Ibetume Afa. You just take advantage of those tools and create your own videos to market your products. 3, say in Inkrofo, maybe it were other partners will baby. Now we video calls. business-wise, enterprise-wise. Zoom, free account woho. It was Google Mailer, which is free email to send up and down. It was Google Meet. It bet to me I have video calls na BBR with the enterprise security. Yeah, sure the Obiam Bema or best say Yamama. The other thing is that if you want to build your own website, there is Wix, there is WordPress. Free access to do some of these things. Till you need very advanced features, that's when you pay for them. Now saying so, Moaba, let me use funerals as an example. Say Obi Kabebia, na wapeda was share information and Krofupi wire digital images. Now I share over WhatsApp. You bet me I call online. There is a free website. I bet me I created them, where people will just access. But Oba app now, most of the time, no, on here, customization, because in pano, Obe use any time, nani nyimdi, to understand what you want to portray. So, ono ebetua. But say, you use Google full tools now. There are some of the things that you can use other marketing tools for free till you are ready to pay for some of these things. Yeah, a typical example. Yesterday, we didn't have an app. We didn't even have a website. But through messages, word of mouth, and the most important thing is, once you put yourself out there, your integrity is at stake. The quality of your product is at stake. Into me, nkade me a day time I ever throw a beji product, or a different thing. Into all these things, crowdfunding application dog kai. Your Chango, if you go changoapp.com, which is approved by Bank of Ghana, which already has the rules. So if you go to changoapp.com and iOS app marketplace, if you Changwa or Susu our private groups, Chango can do it. Crowdfunding, Chango can do it for you. Into Yemena, they have free versions that you can leverage. Till in your sika, then you take advantage of those.
My name is Nanaya AJ.
Okay.
And the business name is Waterfalls Ventures. What we do is we produce organic sanitary products. Auntie Becky, we have packages for hotels. And since we are going digital, can you share a personal email or something I can send my proposal through to? Thank you.
My name is Godwin. I'm from AppTouch Consults Limited. We are into labor management and recruitment support to businesses. So if you need to recruit people for your company, you can call on us. Thank you. My question is to the doctor from the university. The crowdfunding app that you are talking about, I want you to go a little bit into details, because you were saying that we should go on Google and search. But we all know that the internet also has other risks, so it's better you give us the verified sites or apps that are available that we can actually access. And then I would love for you to give us, how to actually apply for them and the things that you're supposed to do, so that it will be easier if someone wants to access it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah, thank you very much for the questions. Mabo wasna ma kanumfanti. Mami keno ni na ne tofani de. Tetino ye kai de na ye obibi ofre no nobwa ana ntobwa. Man ana wakanden. Good inombwa. Ntino mana wa ye ni de ebusia ye kambom. Na ebia yeko ekro no farm do na yeko boan mo ye na edwuma ewie a na ye free ho ya akokro so ne zido na ya akobwa no ya na edwuma. That same concept no and I use technology yes abim. Ono na ye friend of crowd funding as in nyimpa dodo as pe kwana ebe nya sika as ahye we edwuma num. Na nyimpa dodo no yes na ye betum yes internet as a pedam nyimpa dodo no ye ntum nko efie ye nko edwuma ne ye nko hwehwe da mo nkrofo no yet na ye mfia internet abafu internet ya ye betum za ye me pede yezi enyinara ona anyi crowdfunding na ya aka no na missing there ye wom ahoro anan ye wo mo ofre no equity nyine there ebe nya obi a opede ozi ni sika ozi be hye wedwuma num na emo nyimpa ko no be kede me percentage wo edwuma na ere num nti bibi there wo friend shares. The person is part of your business. Ene ye wo susu ya ye nyina ye nyimia na peer to peer. Wo idea na edwuma na ere no menyu agye ho pa na emo mizisika ne hyemu mo a ewie amfa so na ebenya no fa misika na mizimo no me principal no famam na mesa ma agye interest so kakra into either debt kind of agreement. Ene ye san so wo ekra offer no donation ni there as you idea no to internet no do na se menyu agye ho na mpede misika be boa wo edwuma na ere na misika no be hyemu mo wi a ma mi hia wo ho anyi de awo be kamidase fachire do nyame hiro de zuska as abobom. Last one aye wono so ye reward no so as you idea no za to internet no de wie no na enya obi a ozini sika abobo ana na enya ku bi a webo so muma etum enya sika bi eza abo wedwuma no de wuru no ewie bibia no ma one agreement a won wo be panyi de main fa yen sika ne mfa meyen na emo ebia se wo souvenirs bi na ere ya fa yenzi fa hye kakra na fa ya advertisement to them no. That platform you are creating for them will give them more money than you paying them back the fund they have given you. So these are the 4 types we have using technology or using internet. The technology no ona na yem brother wabu boda me no me yem kwechi kra yem WhatsApp ibi wo ho, Facebook ibi wo ho, Twitter ibi wo ho, abazi bi no ho. All the social media platforms. Now, wako yesika sem nintinu ye hia embra ma yeze abohuban. Intinu you have something you call the ecosystem that guides this whole thing about crowdfunding. Intinu ecosystem ni yewo pillars anan. Awarankasa eri pesika no ana entrepreneur no ewombi. Nyimpa kura ozini sika oziri be hye wedwumem no investor no owo bi. Yewo ma owo IT nimzi no your friend website developer onu so wo hobby ena mbra na obehwe ma bibia wa kodu jojo because o yesikasam ochine bi na bi akakede na nyimpa kurumpo na mnyimpo de niska no krampo no oye abazimpo galamse iska anado oye bibi sika saka wasika intunu mbra wo ho a ne nyina ohweduma yetum yezi ye bibi otenam ne nyina abefu infidia niyeziye. So these are the take homes I want all of us to take home as entrepreneurs. Thank you very much.
What we are doing here, we are growing Access Bank, we are growing all the businesses here. If you say take advantage, they advertise one products. So you can share it on Akroma Plaza, but it shouldn't be, of course, it shouldn't be a competitor competing with our products. But you can share your products on our platform too, because we also grow businesses as well. Thank you.
All right, so no, your last 2 questions. So no, on the time and say last 2 questions.
My question goes to Auntie Becky.
So your name, the name of your business entity.
My name is Rosemary.
Okay.
My business name is Mystical Roses of Mary.
What do you do?
I'm a poultry farmer.
Okay, poultry farmer.
Yes.
Yintil.
And I do other business as well. Auntie Becky, please, I want to know what was your parents doing special aside from being their child or their children, like yours, were you being paid by your parents, or what way were they doing to influence you into the business that?
Okay. So what you are ana waye benaze was show nkran mean see edwuma nenda akem mo onye way or abaya CEO no to your kawa na there or your woman mean to be a wo daily bread no zamo.
Actually, no, in a different form. And that form was switch box at the book school, we boy schooler. So I knew Juma, provisions, no the better. Hey, Juma, you get the maize breaks, the clean, and all those things. Well, it wasn't, I had a Yetimode or something, but it was just trying to tell you that, or tell us that those things you are getting in the chop box, they didn't come easily. They came through hard work. So if you want to get those things at full chop box, because I remember I used to ask Mommy, why come them you eat for neba? So time we are chop box, because there was absolutely nothing in the chop box. Vacation time, but modern but not store. So it started as me working to fill my chop box. But gradually I developed interest in the business because there were a lot of interactions, and then one thing to you was also an achievement for me. So these were all some of the benefits. Of course, you might see it as my parents want me as Zendodo, but when you grow up, you appreciate the things that they did to strengthen us and to teach us that enyama more our baby and noble so something
right. But you for last person, K2. What's here for two more persons?
My name is Frederick Nansen, CEO of First Vision Electrical Appliances. I'm into high purchase. My question is, as a young entrepreneur,
on the oil business there, you are into high purchase, right? Yeah, that in itself tells you there, you don't need all the money to start that yourself, okay? And or depending, sometimes the kind of business you are into, integrity, relationship could be your key capital rather than physical money. And I know people who import from, let's say, Dubai. They don't pay upfront because they have that kind of relationship. And maybe one of my bottom are fun on credit. Instead of going to take a loan to go and buy them outright and come and sell, you can get them on what? On credit, because you have a good relationship. And then you can sell and go and what? Pay. So, anyandama, sometimes you can have all the money, but if you lack integrity and the rest of them, it will still be what? A problem. So we know businesses that can start maybe from their own resources, equity, and the rest of them. But ni now or advantage and then what? Disadvantage. You do all the permutation. You factor all of them and then see which one will best serve my what? Interest now. And now, as you grow and na business now and then you formalize your business now, tax issues in the beam. But when they do baby, say a bob more better since they used to wow about the equity. Now, equity in Puna this share business now, but to pay year film. Now that share at the full Friday, as and now they do something else whilst you leverage on somebody else also what capital. Now the identity. It's all up to you. But if you are into high purchase, maybe the items are very expensive. You may not need to take a loan to go and what? Buy all of them outright. But it's just, and sometimes too, the way it works is that we have what we call in finance business angels, right? So sometimes it may just be one or somebody who is very repeatable, has a name. People respect that person. In fact, that person can just give you a recommendation. Oh, I know this person. He's into maybe fridge. Now those things. Bottom the fridge now, man, or bottom no then. It's just a recommendation. You are gone. Inti yen environment I one. Bohun there. Problem I want. Somebody has that solution. And I always use this example. Maybe you see here. Bible said there, a group of people followed Jesus for 3 days, and they had not eaten, meaning that they were hungry. And Jesus asked his management team, what shall we do? The self-elected spokesperson of the disciples, Peter, but look at the interesting thing. The solution that day was in the hand of a lad, a small boy, who was carrying what? 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. That was the solution that day. Into our environment, one ecosystem and yankupon creates around you, the solution may be what? May be there. You don't need to look too far. Nah, that look at all of this. Say, if you understand your business environment, open up. What's it? But also be very careful who and who you share. There are some dreams. If you share with some people, you may end up like Joseph in a prison. Oh, thank you.
Obi bisa question often. I'm not going to say often access to information, internet, the cost of going digital. Okay, me pede me kabibi kakra fa ho my access bank here. The kakra here there. You create business advisory service link. You be share amahon. What we do is that whatever problem you have, whatever question, whatever information you seek, echo them site in a type them information na obibo more within 24-48 hours maximum, depending on how complex it is. Inti internet need or a difficult them who there our internet need your nibube day. Is needs nibube day. Obia na ibia moshe. Inti say my hand specific information or your website one ma. Ye be pekwan na ya ma information in here na ya bo. Also no. My you could read in the on chair, you better launch a friend. I there, yes, all businesses better together at a mall, digital mall. In this how a ton, the Mazia, Benya Honsa, or Pedo to be. Yes, we want boom on a common platform so that we have engagement, and we would also use the bank's platform. Need to promote one businesses. No, until you get access to suppliers. Suppliers will also get access to buyers nazi. Inti na be out very soon. Inti kakra mpedem ze ka honyin.
Fantastic. Aha. Messi ikita smartphone na. Phone and graphic business so waricha waze. Iko oye Play Store ana iOS na fi ahwe na ako graphic news plus app anado. Graphic news plus app anado. You download the BBR Nkrata ya ose graphic communication group asan yinara ibenyen de biara na akankan. Oye pochome raba yente woso asambisa.
Well, from me Ernest. Now I'm a proud CEO of Ensel Enterprise. I distribute cement. Mopacho Amazon on your question, but as our internet no why am. I'm a pretty one of our what I say. But I'm there. How am I seeing my customers? If me the cement ne bro, I take pictures. Now me out to internet, another me out to my WhatsApp status. Inti one also say what share now I share my others. Them also what share, but what them are not like Obia from. Me pocho me per cement. So I asked the location I will. If I can supply you from that location, I'm going to supply you. More other guys in so like baby you for want to supply. if I can like my link now and sika internet that bremono so make America yenwie nti aza yeni painful no ka
wow you man
Hello, good afternoon. Please, I'm Gladys Stacy Thompson from STCCI. Pocho mpede bisa
Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce,
yes,
right?
Please, yes,
good.
Please. Pocho mpede bisa san kwa Madam Bekiwo. And when the small businesses na dano like symbols. Nti mpede bisa about symbols. Nti Madam Beki Pocho mpede bisa ode Akroma symbol. Abadi nti na we choose Akroma. Wa brand zama bebe wa wetin we choose. Na we choose Akroma as a symbol for your business.
Actually, Akroma ni mami nizin oye ama Akroma. Mami ama Akroma. Intina yedi Akroma no. Ye kade ye mami ama Akroma. It doesn't sound too so that's how come we made it Akroma. And the little I know about the name no manana ken de esmo na okontam. Ekado nke bibia trum na wa ye nentam. Yes, and from going up to, you can tell that, say, Mamma sorry, dog could be beer. I am for a so that is basically the name Akroma. It's just from him, I'm using Akroma.
All right, but so you know, some resource persons.
Okay, so to our co-host managing director who is represented, Mr. Atuaful of Graphic Communications, to our own professor of finance at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Bokpin, Madam Abigail, senior lecturer at Faculty of Business, Takoradi University, Mr. Ebenezer Atuyosin, Chief Info Security and AML Officer, to Madam Rebecca Odro, CEO of Akroma Plaza, and then also to other dignitaries like Mr. Nipani Adi of Sekondi-Takoradi Chamber of Commerce, Director of Sales, Ghana Graphic Communication Groups, Mr. Franklin Soa, staff of Graphic Communication, my colleagues from Access Bank, CEOs and entrepreneurs here gathered, friends of the media, our online guests, ladies and gentlemen. I believe this has been an exciting and revealing session for all of us. Indeed, there's a lot of potential in our SME. And I'm excited we have had the opportunity to listen and interact with seasoned professionals on this subject. Just a few things that I picked from Prof and then the panel discussions that I would want to shed more light on as part of the closing remarks. There were some interesting things that Prof said, which I have taken in also. That what key customers spend more time online than on the street or corner where your business is. It's something very, very revealing. In this American of until. Also, what customers now when you are down 100, they will buy basic go or one. Nancy, what's the 100 do now online, internet, the way WhatsApp. Inti say we you man so where you manage Jade as a target on one war, they will buy our shop. Ebe my shop no why feel. Na say one kasa online activities in developing there's a mismatch. And yeah, near money into into 2 years also. He also made a very important point that we should grow our businesses or keep our businesses and ensure that our businesses outlive us. He also made mention of the need for a succession plan. Very important. For 1 week, another minimum spend me 1 week holidays with them. But in Yamache, do nara into me yet them. Ye Yankwejuma 1 day and a year. Osande in jeans there, Hinichi, in Yamaruko. Madam Becky Surkas and of Akroma Hono, she made mention of also that succession plan. It is something that is very important there. We should work smart, as the slogan nowadays goes. There's no need for working hard, and then at the end of the period, no, you are not even available to reap from the benefits of what you have invested in. As some crucial came away, Yemu binom ye adwuma te dem a ye wia adwuma no. Ye kwan no officer na de ye kwan adwuma ma mameyi ye ntua ka na ye kɔ. But ni nyina ka investment na wakɔ share wo business nim no. And se yetena ho na adwene ho a ebehu de yetum dze dem ne ma nyina tutuye ya oboboa hen wo ma yepede ye den de yesua eniema pi madam from Takoradi University TTU anu so me yeta ase de ehia ne me bia me nhye ho na enkoto ni nyina we part of usikasem ezri fi wo business nim your bank abinu wo ba ohia loan 10,000 cedis per na nipa kru na obeba bank no ni mobile phone okita ye be 15,000 abazi no the mobile phone ye or the call na WhatsApp inti say ehia mobile phone bi dem a koto yam ebodu mbiri bia ebenya access to the mobile phone when we dwuma no we do level bia ehia loan but loan sika na aka say da akɔ mobile phone na stand per 10,000 you wia ya charge you interest na nzema bi wo hɔ no ma you feel the onko ye more inti ni nyina say Yekikambuma, I think it's been a very good session. We've made things very, very exciting for ourselves. Prof, to conclude with Prof, ne in Checheno, even though the Sunday Nyamisem na Bible sem very practical. Oba yeta sede. Bible sem no yetum sua edumasem so frim ma oboa ma yenya ye discipline. Jesus oma an example of 12 disciples. Oma an example of thank you. Feeding of the 5,000 and then the Garden of Eden. Adam ni story ni nyina. Insi de ho nyina se de wo be obabo hen in the Takoradi ye baha de bia o ye nyijesam. Minyi no Takoradi ha kakra nsi. De se me baha na niam akodo dem a no ye menije pi. So on behalf of Access Bank, on behalf of all of you who came, we thank you so much.
I told you so.
Thank you
Diploma
very
in
much.
Infante language. Takoradi edition ye mo se bi o.
For more news, visit graphic.com.gh or log on to Facebook at Daily Graphic and on YouTube at Graphic GH.
Subscribe now.